Mhm. Oh, no thanks. Are we muted? We are muted. Okay, so I should be able to minimize this. Ask for the agenda, but I think I can do this by heart. Okay, I'm going to call the Franklin Township HARB meeting to order at 7:10 on September 2nd. In attendance are myself, Lou Mandich, Mark Gordon, and Chuck Phillips. And the applicant, what's your first name, Mr.?
Jim.
Jim?
Joe.
Joe. Mr. Joe Sabriglia. Okay. There aren't any minutes. We don't have to worry about approving them. And any comment before the meeting, Mr. Sabriglia? You're the only member of the public. Okay, no public comment? Okay, so the only order of business tonight is the COA application for 3302 Appleton Road. I'll begin by reading the description of proposed work that summarizes what the application is about. The existing garage, which is in disrepair and not original to the house, will be removed. New garage with storage above it will be constructed to match the architectural style of the historic structure. The new construction will enhance the appearance by more closely mirroring the original house. Exterior will be the same stucco and shingle roof. The nature of this, as a result, is that there will be the demolition of the existing garage, and there will be the construction of an addition because access will be through the plans indicate that it can be accessed through the house. This is not a separate building.
That's the same as it is today.
Hmm?
That's the same as it is today.
Yeah, it's an addition. Yeah, and it's a new addition, correct. I would just like to make a few notes about the building. And for this, I'm going to draw on the physical description, which is in our historic resource report. This 1.0 acre property is located in the Campbellsville Historic District on the northeast corner of the intersection of Appleton Road and Municipal Lane. The historic resource, a house, is a contributing resource in the Campbellsville Historic District. The house is a large Gothic farmhouse now subdivided from the barn to the north. It is oriented east toward Municipal Lane. I actually think that that's incorrect. The house faces Appleton, I believe.
No, it doesn't.
No?
This used to be,
does.
like, before this was all one property, and that, like, the
Yeah.
driveway to the house used to be the road.
Okay, so what is are you saying that this is oriented east? The house that's facing south, not east.
Yeah.
Faces south.
Oriented east towards Municipal Lane would be to face us currently, I assume. Would you not read that way, Chuck, or am I misinterpreting?
It faces.
I'm just getting what north and south are. The site plan. What else?
Appleton is pretty much due north and south.
Appleton's running north and south. It's facing south towards
Municipal Lane. Okay, so it faces south toward Municipal Lane, right?
Because that road wasn't there, so that driveway was the road.
Yeah, I think that was originally the farm lane for the barn that was back here, right? The house is a 2-story, 3-bay stucco-over masonry house with a wraparound porch and a garage extension. The garage is actually a separate physical building currently, is it not?
It's attached
It is attached,
Yeah.
but you can't enter it.
from the kitchen.
You can enter it from the kitchen. Okay, so this is, all right, fine. There are things I didn't understand.
It's not.
I didn't think it was masonry.
Stuck over it somehow.
Yeah, that's not unusual.
Yeah.
My house is the same way. The fenestration has been heavily altered by an Italianate influenced 2-story octagonal 3-window bay unit near the northeast corner of the east facade, as well as a single-story bay near the southeast corner. This is interesting. We have original pictures, which they may not have had at the time that this was done.
And it-
Yes, I don't think its house has been heavily altered at all from this.
That's what I was trying to find the picture. Where is that picture?
If you look at the house history, there's up in the second page of the house history, there's the copy of the postcard, and you can see that it's clabbered. If you look closely, you can see the horizontal clabbered lines, and you can see that the
I can't find it.
uh,
It's not in the Pennsylvania resource.
No, the house history.
no, the house history. Yeah, it's a file that says, gosh, I don't have.
There we
my-
go. Wait. Revised. There we go.
Yeah, I sent the revised version recently.
Yep, no, I got it.
So
I got
page
it.
2,
Yep, I wanted to look at it too.
the picture of the old
Yeah.
house.
I agree. It hasn't been modified.
right, so that information is wrong.
I like how he stands right in front of the tree.
Right,
It
that
says-
is JG West, by the way.
Yeah, where where is JG West?
With his dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's Waldo. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so we know that some of this description is actually wrong, and I will modify the house description when I write it up to correct this.
This is, all that. Way that, that's still all there underneath that line and stuff. See how it's got like that, all that.
I can't hear Joe. Does he have?
Yeah,
a
Joe,
microphone?
yeah, sorry.
That, like, if you look at that picture, like that paneling,
Put the mic down a little too, so.
like that panel, like, it probably doesn't matter, but if you look in that old picture, like where all that paneled wood and all that is,
Right,
that's still all there underneath the stucco.
right. Understood. Yeah, in the future, if you want to say something, just turn it on because it doesn't get picked up and somebody listening remotely can't hear it. I just want to note quickly also before we move any further beyond this, that a little bit about the house history, the historical significance. This was J.G. West's second home. And while the property is actually much older than the house, this house, let's go down here. dates from the 1880s. And he only began construction actually after Briot's map was produced. It began in 1884, and he finished sometime in 1886. And we know this, we have newspaper articles on the house. As a result, although the property was associated with the Kimballs, who gave the village its name, this house is notable for being constructed by Dr. J.G. West, one of the most prominent Franklin residents of the late 19th century. A medical doctor whose son succeeded him in serving the local population, he received his degree from the University of Pennsylvania in 1860, served 2 10-year terms as postmaster, the first beginning in 1862 and the second in 1875, was a school director for 15 years, and served 2 terms in the state legislature that together ran from 1891 through 1894. So this is the primary significance of the house. And the house and the former barn are documented in a postcard that we know J.G. West actually used, since we have a copy of the front and back of it in our files. We do not have the original. The images were shared with us.
Before you go on, if you look at that picture closely,
Yes.
I'm not sure that the garage isn't original.
You're referring to what comes off? Well, let me put it this way. The garage, certainly with its doors, the doors are not original.
The doors are not.
Right.
However, there is a structure that's there.
Yeah, but what's standing there now is not original because it's modern lumber. And there's a window from the house that goes, or it used to be a window that goes into the garage. I think there was like a little lean-to there, but the wood what's there and the block that's what's built there now is not old.
So what is the garage constructed of?
The bottom, about 4 feet is block.
Okay, like
And the-
concrete or?
Yeah, cement blocks, like
Okay.
modern cement blocks, and then it's
Right.
2x4s above that.
Yeah, so if it's concrete block, I don't think it would be original to the 1880s.
No.
Yeah, the rest of all the
would
masonry
be
there is
cement.
rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
No,
that
you're right. There's something there. I
there's something
agree.
there of the same size.
I don't think it's the same size because there's a window. I think it's a lot shorter than what's there. And you can see, if you look up in the rafters where it's been scabbed a few times to make it bigger. And there's a window, what used to be a window that, I doubt it was a window into that building. It must have been outside. And where the kitchen is now, there's a window that now goes into that garage.
So it's,
Garage wasn't there, you'd have a window.
A window looking out. Yeah, yes.
There's also the possibility that what I'm looking at doesn't necessarily fully attach to the side. I don't have, I don't
right, right.
know.
You know, it's clear there's something there, but,
Yeah, you're right. It looks like it's further away.
well,
He's talking about-
No, it's almost identical to what's currently there because what's currently there sets well back. But the question is how, is it
Right.
is it 2 bays or is it only maybe 1 with a breezeway between? Very common historically to have breezeways. And then the window would have been exposed. There's no way to know from this picture.
Yeah, but what I can tell you is that what's there now is built from modern materials. It's not old.
Mhm.
It's got particle board sheathing in it.
so you enter the garage currently from the kitchen. Yes. So Chuck, I'm wondering if that's some sort of protected, little porch-like structure attached to the kitchen?
I can zoom in because
Yeah, you've got more, I mean,
the computer. Yeah,
Right.
That might have been the kitchen.
It looks like there's almost a ground level door of some sort there.
it,
Or my eyes full
Well,
of.
there's a
I'm
door
thinking
in,
it's
the-
a
No, no, we're
carriage
looking
house
at
as opposed to a
the-
garage.
I know, but there's a door in the basement
Right,
that would go underneath. Like if you, it's concrete block there now with the foundation where that garage is, but there's an old door there. I guess it was a root cellar or something. That you would, if you open it, you would go underneath that structure.
so it's possible that that could be a covered entrance
That might have been the kitchen.
to the
An outside-
kitchen
that
or
might have been the
basement.
outside kitchen. I don't
Like
know.
a
'Cause I don't know.
summer-
that
It
the
doesn't
kitchen
look,
now
it
was the
doesn't
kitchen.
look very big, honestly.
Summer kitchen.
Probably.
It doesn't, to me, it doesn't look very big.
Hmm.
No, it can't be big. Well, I mean, I guess it possibly, it's possible that it was some sort of summer outdoor cooking area, if it's off the
I think,
kitchen.
I think it's, well, that doesn't make sense. I was gonna say a carriage house,
You think it's it doesn't, it's
but why have a
possible.
carriage house with a giant,
Huh.
I don't know. I don't know that
Yeah.
people had both carriage houses and barns.
Would it be,
Maybe if
yeah,
you
they
were a doctor,
could.
you did.
That's quite possible. The only thing is I would expect the carriage house to be a structure that's physically separated from the house by a bit more distance than this is.
Yeah, yeah, this is a very modest.
It's very
very
modest and it
modest, whatever
seems
it
to be
is.
it seems to be close enough to the house that it could have been attached in some way.
would
It-
would it have been a porte cochere perhaps? You know, where the carriages go under and let somebody out?
I
Like-
think
like
it's
a car-
something, I think it's something of that nature, maybe not as, I don't think I would go with Port Cochere because that's fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so- yeah, exactly. It's the non-fancy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just some place to pull the carriage in and disembark and get the horses disconnected, etc.
But I'm
But
looking
I
at
don't know how
this.
much it attaches.
Right. But looking at this, it seems to me that the current garage has pretty much replaced whatever was there.
I
There was
pointed out I
another,
pointed out because historically there was a mast there. That's purely the only reason I point that out. is
No, I'm just trying
there
to,
was
that-
another picture of that house.
yeah.
It used to hang in there years ago and it was from the other angle where you could see
See, I don't,
Jason from the south.
yeah, I don't have
It
that.
hung in that office for years. I don't know.
Really? So the township
When
has.
when the township had it, yeah.
Yeah,
It was hanging on the
okay.
wall right in there.
That would have been nice to have. I didn't even
And there's,
know that.
they're doing like a fox hunt. There's a bunch of people on horses and stuff,
Hmm.
Right.
and they're all around the porch.
Yeah,
I
that
don't know
makes
if the
sense.
township has it somewhere, but it used to hang on the wall in there when Barbara's here.
Well, you've had the house 30 years, more than 30 years. 1994.
Okay,
Hmm.
all right, so we had a lot
It's also
of,
it's not stucco.
not originally, no.
No.
That's what Mr. Zabrilio said, that it was originally clapboard and you can sort of see the lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I
Do
was
we know
not
when the
aware of
stucco was
till-
added?
I'm sorry,
Do we know when the stucco was added?
do you have any idea?
I know that when I got it from the township, the whole house was in pretty bad shape and we stripped the inside of it because it was paneled on the inside. And we found newspapers from the 50s behind the paneling. So I knew there was a renovation sometime
Yeah,
in the 50s, but I don't know if that's when the stucco went on.
I don't know. My house was retroactively stuccoed at some point over siding. And
But it is kind of modern chicken wire under the stucco.
it's not lath. It's chicken wire?
It's chicken wire. yeah.
Okay.
So
Did
it
you
might
hear
have been
that?
it might have been the 50s when they
Did.
did when they
Yeah.
did the paneling.
Right. Okay. Mhm. What make a note here.
Nice big barn in the background.
Isn't there?
Yeah, well, that's part of the issue why I want to put that storage above, because in the wintertime, when they're operating back here, those 2 bedrooms are uninhabitable.
Noisy.
Well, yeah, because every time they put this thing in reverse, it's beep, beep, beep,
Oh,
and they got these
geez.
lights shining. So these 2 bedrooms on this side of the house are basically,
So it's basically a sound barrier that you're putting in.
yeah, because this thing really, it jacked up the
Oh,
value of that property a lot. I'm not gonna get into that because I get angry every
well,
time.
we fought to save that barn. You probably know that.
All right.
Yeah, I have offered to buy it, they wouldn't sell it to me.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue. So prior to the meeting, after we had received the original submission through Mark Gordon, I requested additional materials, including a description of the garage and its size, which Mr. Zabriglia provided through an email back to Stacy Hollis. And we have that information now. And you indicated you will be reusing the existing garage doors in that same email. Trying to see what else is here. Do you have any, you said the new entry doors, the man doors will be built of wood. Do you have, you're going to build them from scratch? All right, so then what we need to know is,
Make it look close to that. Double.
when you say the front door,
Front door, it's a double door that faces south,
the double door that faces,
in front of the house.
okay.
I think we need a full front elevation.
Well, one of the problems with the plans is the plans show something that looks a little different, as best I can tell from this picture.
Well, that's why I say I think we need a full front elevation.
Right. So do you understand what Mr. Phillips is requesting? He is our architect member. He is requesting essentially not just the partial view of so the current, let me get up, I'll bring this over. So what we have now, this is the frontal elevation of the new addition with a portion of the existing house. He is asking for this to show the whole existing house so that we can see how these are integrated and how they work together, because we're talking about, one of the things that we're concerned with the new construction is being well integrated with the old construction. Okay, so it's this side from here. That is what he's requesting. Now, this shows 2 different style doors here. That your intention to build one that looks like this or like this. Are these supposed to be the same or different? See, because this has a transom light. This does not.
Well, that's because the front door has a transom, the front door of the house has a transom.
Okay. All right, so we either need better, I mean, is a better image of that? I don't know how well we can get that off of a photograph. Sorry, let me go back. He cannot hear.
Oh,
Chuck cannot hear what I'm saying.
oh,
I can
yeah.
hear you. I can
I
hear
can
you. I
hear
just can't. I can hear you, but if you point to something, I obviously can't. I
Right,
don't know
so
what
I
you-
was just pointing out that the rear elevation shows a different style door in the sense that the front elevation shows a full transom,
Correct.
and the rear does not. Um,
That's because the front door in the house now has a full transom.
okay. So as I said, what Mr. Phillips is asking for is, at least for the front elevation, you're not asking this for the rear elevation?
Uh,
I'm pointing out that if you have it for one side and not the other, if you're worried about the integration of these two things, the record is incomplete.
yeah, honestly, I would prefer the side elevation.
Well, you have the side elevation, do you not? You mean the street side elevation?
Correct.
Okay.
As opposed to the rear, because the rear, we typically don't worry too much. It's not visible.
No, except that we need the rear because it's new construction. There I have to differ with you.
Wait,
And it's visible from Municipal Lane. See
Um,
I'm sorry, the right side. I get confused because I think of that as being you're right. So that's the rear elevation.
look at the drawing. Use the terms on the drawing because I'm looking at
I
the drawing.
know, sorry. It's my fault.
It's okay.
I'm
No.
not used to looking at plans. I'm not an architect.
Hey,
So,
guys, maybe it's easier if you use cardinal directions like south facade, north facade.
yeah, we can do that too, except then we're going to have to reconcile it. So the front is the south facade,
Correct.
and the right side elevation is the east facade. So you're saying that,
Well,
I
we
mean-
already we have the east facade.
we have
Yeah.
the east facade.
That,
I mean-
that tells us almost nothing about the existing. My
I'm-
concern is new compared to existing.
Right.
I'm not that concerned. You're looking at the same page as I am, I believe. I'm
Yeah,
not
this
that
is,
concerned about the north or rear elevation being detailed out. But for the, the value of understanding what the existing house looks like, the west elevation is important. I know we're
by
not
that
doing
you
anything
mean the
in there, but
left
it's
side,
important.
you mean the left side elevation?
Where'd
Correct?
you go? Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to put it into terms that are on
Is
the
that what
plan.
faces Appleton Road?
Yes.
Yes.
I can go take a picture. That's not changing.
Well, we
Why-
have
why do we
tried
need
to take
facades?
pictures, but the problem with that is the
The trees.
trees are so thick
Yeah.
and have been
Yeah,
that
they're
it's
still gonna be
very
there.
difficult to see.
Yeah.
It's not also, all right, so let's,
I'm
all right.
okay with it. I'm okay with a good picture of that elevation,
Okay,
but I'm very, in order to design, and we're going to get into this pretty quickly. In order to design this garage correctly, you need to at least have the front elevation detailed properly, because this addition has been done as a colonial, and this is not a colonial in any way. This is a Gothic. And if they would have
With all
drawn
due
the,
respect, you guys put a Quonset hut in the backyard. Now, what if I just tear it down and put a Quonset hut there? Would that be okay?
actually, no, that would be disruptive to the.
And that's not
structure.
disruptive?
so
We've
so-
been-
We've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars bringing that place back from the piece of shit the township let it get to be.
so I'm
And you
not
guys are
asking,
busting my balls at every step.
Well,
no, I'm not
don't
asking
just
for,
don't blame us for that. We weren't here
I'm
then. We
not-
tried to save the barn. I don't think any higher of the
Can I-
township than
can
you
I-
did. I
Can
agree
you get,
with you.
all right,
So let's move forward and not get mad about
let's
it.
just stop
Can-
for a sec, because
can I stay on
Chuck
top of
has a question.
My point is that I'm not asking for any additional cost. It's just proper detailing. And the proper detailing would have been very obvious to the people that drafted this had they drafted the entire front elevation. It's a Gothic. The overhangs are not plumb and flat on the bottom. The dormers don't look at all like the dormers that they've placed here. This is something that goes on a different house. It's nice and easy because there's a lot of them around, but that's all they did. They copied what they've done on a different house and put it on this house. Had they drawn the entire front, it would have been very obvious to them that they were mismatching architectures. It doesn't cost any additional. It's just paying attention to the details.
Well, look, I'm not gonna go pay this guy another $1,000 to make another drawing for you guys just to tell me no. So why don't you just draw a picture of what you want it to look like, and we'll go from there.
Who's going to pay my fee? No.
Yeah.
Well, you said no additional cost, right?
So, well, actually, you are going to run into additional costs because if this is redesigned according to some guidelines provided by, he is not.
Give up and tear it down.
So you're going to put us in a position of, we can either try and work through this. We can continue this to next month, in which we're going to have to take it up where we are. And what I would like to suggest for the time being is that, Chuck, you provide some guidelines as to what you think an appropriate addition would include, so that we can all look at these guidelines. I'm going to suggest that if you do that over the next month, we will carry over these hearings to the next month. Okay?
Sure.
Yeah. And can you get those guidelines to Mr. Zabriglia before the next month? Let's figure out what the time frame is here.
So I can't do this directly to him. We have to do it.
Right. What I'm just,
I have to, if I were to sketch something, or is that what we're talking about?
no, I'm not asking you to sketch something. I'm asking you to
Wait a minute. It needs to be very clear to me what I gotta do, because I'm not gonna keep coming back here and spending thousands of.
This is not allowing my conversation to proceed. I understand that you're frustrated, but for this conversation to proceed in a useful manner, let me proceed and figure out where we stand. All right?
Okay.
Thank you. So no, and you cannot do that as a member of the HARB. And if you were to do that, you would then become in conflict and would not be able to participate in the HARB's discussion.
Right.
What you can do is draw up a set of guidelines, and we cannot make choices for you. This is something you have to understand.
If you're gonna tell me what I can't do, you need to tell me
No,
what I
no.
can do.
That's what we're trying
That,
to do.
no, and actually, I'm not telling you what you can't do. If you wish, we can mull these plans over and proceed to it, but I'm going to ask my members to take it under consideration for the next month, because this is an important issue that Mr. Phillips has raised, and I do not, because there are some emotions running high here, I do not want us to be voting under these circumstances. So we cannot tell you what to do. What I am asking,
But you can tell me what not to do.
what I am asking Mr. Phillips to do is to indicate in writing, perhaps in a way that at least an architect would understand, all right? That the differences in a Gothic approach to this addition versus the current approach. This we can provide as suggestions if you want it. If you don't want it, we can proceed with what we have here. And again, I'm going to ask that we back off for a month because we're not allowed to discuss this except in public. And Mr. Phillips can do that, and you can decide whether you.
Well, why isn't the township,
Gentlemen, can I interrupt for a second?
why can
Joe?
the township do that?
Joe, can I just chime in
Actually,
here real
no,
quick?
I want to finish this. I will tell you
Okay.
exactly why we recommended against it.
Okay.
The supervisors had the votes.
I
The supervisors,
I understand.
we make recommendations. We recommended against
Okay.
tearing down the barn.
Okay, but you didn't stop them?
We cannot stop them. And if you can get all the supervisors to vote with you, they can do something other than what we recommend. And it is your right to disagree with our recommendation and go before the supervisors and ask for a decision.
It's hypocrite. It's totally hypocrite.
We are not hypocritical.
No, not you. I'm not saying the township.
These are
It's totally
also, I will tell
And
you,
I understand you're bound by the township and I'm not, I don't mean to be taking out on you guys, but I've been around and around with this township for 30 years now, a bunch of bullshit, and it's always a bunch of bullshit.
all right, so bear with me a
I'm
little.
gonna change my zoning. I've been to court with them 3 times already, and they spend $10,000 to tear the barn down. They just beat you in court. I'll just do that. I'll spend $10,000 and I'll burn it to the ground.
I would prefer not to see that happen. But this is,
I mean, that's what this township is driving me to. I mean, they probably cost me 50 grand in property value when they built that. And then they try to take my commercial zoning.
all of those things are not part of what we do as a board.
But you have to look at my position as a whole.
Actually, that's not how we're required to do this per se. First and foremost, we have to look at design considerations. It is not, it is simply, we are a review board. We just make a recommendation based upon the way the ordinance is written and what our responsibilities are under the ordinance. I have had people come in here and get angry with me because they had to build a turkey mound. That's not me. That's Chester County. I can't do anything about it. We can tell you the characteristics of a Gothic addition that would be more in tune with the characteristics of your existing Gothic building.
Okay, the problem is now, I've been going through this for months now, and now you're telling me this. Nobody told me this before.
We do not get these plans until now.
I understand. Maybe you should change your process. It should be more somehow communicative with the constituents.
I operate under the terms of the ordinance. I cannot change. The supervisors change the process. We are bound by the ordinance. I don't get very much choice in this. And while I understand your frustrations, I have to proceed in accordance with.
And I can, to make it look and be able to put that kind of Gothic arch on there, it's gonna have to be a lot bigger. I'm just telling you right now, because to be symmetrical at all, it's gonna have to be.
Hang on.
I'm just kind of letting you know, it's gonna have to be to the same size to be able to.
I'm just going to ask for a considered opinion from our architect. And that is, do you think that if this were designed in a more compatible manner, it would actually have to be bigger? Chuck?
No. No.
No?
If I put that arch in the middle of that addition, it's.
No.
gonna be
You're talking about
asymmetrical.
your existing Gothic peak in your house, correct? It does not necessarily need to be replicated on the addition. Am I correct in saying that, Chuck?
You're correct in saying that.
Okay, so let's start there. Okay, I think one of the things that makes this a colonial, if I'm not mistaken, is the pent roof, among other things.
Yeah, well, the pant roof. I know why they put the pant roof on. They wanted to break it up, break up the size. Yeah, definitely the dormers and the overhang.
When you
So
say the
you're-
overhang,
those are-
you mean
those are
the
good comments.
second, wait.
Yeah.
When you say the overhang, you mean the second story eave projection?
Correct.
Okay.
I did
Joe,
that.
your eave projections right now are, they are not horizontal and vertical. So you don't have a horizontal soffit. You have a sloped soffit. You have exposed rafters shown in some cases. Totally different than what's shown here. This is a closed box soffit. It's totally different
Well,
detail.
that was a mistake he made in the drawing. I had no intention to close this off. Just gonna make it look like it's just like the other house.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
You're off. Can you get closer to the mic?
Yeah, that must have been his software because I had no intention to make it a modern closed soffit. I was gonna leave the rafters exposed just like they are.
And so we wouldn't even be having that conversation if we saw that. We have no way of knowing. I mean, you're saying his software. You can draw by hand still today if
I drew it by
somebody-
hand and it wasn't good enough.
Okay. But I mean, it's clearly shown, it's detailed. They choose the software doesn't make the decision for them. They made the decision to draft it that way. And we have no way of knowing, oh, well, they drafted it that way, but you don't intend to build it that way. We have to, the drawings have to show what you're going to build. Mark's not going to approve it if it's not, I shouldn't speak for Mark, but Mark,
Yeah, I mean, these are all good points, and these are the takeaways that we should be jotting down and memorializing for our applicant so that they can go back to the drawing board, make these changes, and come back next month with a revised and corrected plan for you. So that's what we should be doing tonight, is looking at these details, making suggestions, and saying, here, let's make some suggestions to our applicant and have them do the best job and come back.
Mark, do you have a
And if he's not
computer
willing
up
to
and
come back, we
all
can
right,
make.
all right. Mark, do you have a computer up and running on your end?
Yes, sir.
Would you be able to take notes on this?
we're taped.
We
can
are
take
taped,
notes.
but it has to be committed to paper at some point. And I'm,
I can memorialize a recommendation.
yeah.
You know, and I can jot everything down here and send it over to you for review, and then we can get it out. Problem.
Okay. So,
We don't have a secretary?
yeah, we don't have one.
Want me to write stuff?
No, I want to think for a minute. I want to figure out. Okay, Chuck, I want you to specify how those aspects of the current plan that are colonial in nature and diverge from the existing house, as you just did with what you call the overhangs, what I'm calling are the second story eaves. So let's start there with Mark taking notes.
The two small dormers, those are colonial dormers, so those should be rethought.
As Gothic dormers?
Or no dormer at all.
Dormers to more properly enhance the architectural feature. You know, you leave it up to the architect. In the end, it's his choice of what he wants to build. If he wants to build this, then you make a recommendation on this.
Understood.
We're starting to
I
get
am
into
trying to elucidate for Mr. Zabriglia what Chuck is seeing.
Yep. I
He
hear you.
need not accept
Got it.
or work from what Chuck is seeing, but I think he is correct that we owe him that.
What other features? You mentioned the soffits or
Is that a third floor? Is that a third story? Is that occupiable?
No.
it's going to be second floor storage, right?
So those are essentially decorative dormers,
Yeah, I don't know if the windows in them, but yeah.
Still have
but they
windows.
don't serve any real purpose for the
No, I
house.
just thought it looked better.
It's, yeah, I mean, it's storage space.
But do you understand what Chuck is saying, that from his point of view, is in a Gothic treatment, they do not need dormers? Okay.
You could do without the dormers. Is that what I'm hearing?
Chuck is saying that he could do without the dormers. Or they
Yeah.
should have a Gothic feel to them.
Yeah. If you're going to put the dormers up there because you feel like it doesn't look good, then it should have a Gothic dormer.
What's a
A
guy?
little research to find out what a Gothic dormer looks like, and that's we got an internet.
Do you happen to have a could you get a picture of a Gothic dormer?
Once again, we're starting to do the design.
You know, I understand
It's not-
that we are doing some of that, but I think it's reasonable for us to at least have a representative picture. Does the existing house have dormers on the third floor?
No, it's got this big
It's got a big
gable,
key,
whatever you call it.
right? And you have an end window on this.
It's just, I was gonna take the one and move it from the.
No, I get that, but what I'm saying is, you're in fact adding something that you don't have on the existing house in terms of adding dormers.
Well, no, but it's got that arch.
No, I understand
Yeah.
that, but
It doesn't have dormers.
what we're saying is, in order to be consistent with the Gothic house, you do not
Look,
need dormers.
Let me ask, this. What if I'll just make it a little bit bigger so I can make it symmetric, and I'll put another big peak in it, just like it's got, and make it a double. Will that fly?
Chuck?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, because
I-
the
I-
problem is now, it's
I-
not wide enough to be symmetric. If I make it a little wider, I can make it symmetric and put a second gable there, so it'll be symmetric. So there's equal distance from the end of the house to the gable, to the middle, to the gable, to the end of the house.
So are we going to do this without a drawing?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm gonna get a drawing, I'm just trying to get an.
No,
idea
I'm
of
not
what
gonna
it would be.
I'm not, no,
I'm
I'm
just
not,
trying to
wait.
figure out what would be acceptable, so I can go make a drawing.
So the thing, are you talking about making two large?
No, it's got one large gable in it now. The one large gable that's in the existing house.
Right. So are you talking about,
Just making it exactly like that on the other side,
right?
but I'd
I
have to
don't
make
think
it a
I
little bit
would.
wider to do that.
I don't think I would. I don't think that's appropriate.
I mean, what he's suggesting is you do not need any, that it's an appropriate Gothic addition without any dormers. I would think that would be a less expensive alternative.
I don't really care about it.
I understand that. But all
I've already spent hundreds of $1,000s more on the house than it's ever gonna be worth. So it's not an expense issue. I've
That's
spent thousands of hours putting the interior back the way it's supposed to be.
I understand what you're saying.
So it's,
But-
I just think with that long plain roof, it's gonna look stupid. Without doing something.
right. That's where there's it needs to be it needs to be drawn and balanced, and you need to be happy with it. If
Yeah,
I
but
was
the
your
problem is I don't need
architect,
to be
I would
happy
do
with
it for you, but I'm not your
you-
architect. I'm
You,
No,
not-
you need to be happy with it. You guys gotta kind of give me an idea of what you guys are gonna be happy. Because you're obviously not happy with that.
Your application just needs to be appropriate in order to pass the Secretary of Interior standards. You're not going to pass the Secretary of standards at this point.
I think that's
Federal
probably the
government
takeaway.
road.
That might be the takeaway for your architect is that we met with the Harb. They have serious concerns about the architecture style that you've chosen to use here.
So basically, you guys are gonna not give me any guidance.
No, I think they are. They have given you guidance, Joe.
You're
which is-
talking like a politician. You're not giving me any.
We've
guidance.
given
You're
you
not telling me
guidance.
what to
We
do.
said to do
Make it-
without the dormers.
Look,
Okay, I
you're
will.
telling us, what I hear you telling me is you really want us to design this for you, and that's not what we do.
But you guys are telling me what I can't do. I
It
want you to
needs to
tell
be
me
in
what I
Alright.
can do.
You had somebody draw up these plans.
Yeah.
Okay. These plans are drawn in a colonial style. What Chuck is saying is they should be drawn in a Gothic style. If the person who did the plans understands architecture, they will know what that means.
I'm gonna tear it down. Thanks for your time.
So before you go, I will write a summary note of our concerns based on this meeting. We will be meeting next month. We will wait until then to make any decisions about any recommendations on this.
Business to run that's 1,500. I can't keep them. Give your time.
Can't hear anything.
Yeah, I didn't hear what he said.
Okay, so just for the record, he said he's got a business to run and he can't keep running back here. So I will, however, appreciate it if Mark, you were taking notes, and Chuck, you were the one making the primary comments. If you would just send me your notes on the basis of this meeting so that I can refer to them in drafting a letter to Mr. Zabriglia. And I will basically state that we will be available to meet again to discuss this again on the following month.
The October meeting. I think those comments are going to be very clear. We can get that out in the next few days.
Yeah, so
And
I'm going
That
to
way
be.
he can, hold on a second. I just hold on a second
Okay.
real quick.
Okay,
Administratively, we have to handle this so that we get this letter together, we get it to him so that he can address comments. If he doesn't, we're going to tell him to come back in October and we'll revise, we'll
well,
look
we
at
have to
talk
come back in
about whatever.
October anyway, whether he addresses comments or not, Mark.
I understand that. I understand that. I
Yeah.
would have said that if I could finish. So the next step is Chuck brought up a really good point about the interior standards, right? So that has to be clear about, where those standards are, right? And how this application.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Understood.
okay, I'll get my notes to you tomorrow.
Thank you. I will have something back to you probably on Friday. I don't think I have to travel on Thursday. I will not be able to. I have to be with my father, who has moderate dementia tomorrow. So, but I will be able to work on that on Friday and get that to you, Mark. Okay?
Good. Sounds good.
All right.
So you're good with my comments, Mark? You can summarize them.
Yeah, I think generally the architecture style is not the same. It's we have concerns that the design's not going to meet the interior department standards. Dormers don't match. What were the other details that you wanted a copy of the
Exposed rafters, overhangs, soffits.
specific rendering that we wanted? Do we determine, nail down which one it was in relation to the plan?
Front elevation.
Front elevation rendering.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I will review the recording.
We can request photographs. What I think,
The problem, for at least for the front elevation, the problem is going to be photographs going to be a little hard. I can
well,
try again, but the trees get in the way there too.
well, you're taking it. Why he needs to provide the photograph.
No, I don't mind taking it, but
Yes, but
that
it's
is
in
going to,
lieu. It's in lieu of the drawings. The photograph is a shortcut that we're willing to accept
okay,
in
so,
lieu of the
all right,
drawings.
so then Mark, add that to your notes and that will go in you talking about the front elevation or are you talking about the Appleton elevation?
We should get both. We should have both.
So we need better photographs of both
Either better photographs or
elevations.
elevations.
All right.
We're looking at a 30-year-old elevation, or photograph rather. We have no elevation and we're looking at a 30-year-old photograph.
Understood.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything else?
Oh, I'm good.
No. All right, then we'll adjourn at 8:05.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
I'm sorry,
I love
Patient's not with you guys.
I understand that.